All right, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? I know that there are some that will be at work, but this is my work time, and you can always go back and watch the video. This is so important. How y'all doing this morning? I know that there are some that will be at work, but this is my work time, and you can always go back and watch the video. This is so important. How y'all doing this morning? I know that there are some that will be at work, but this is my work time, and you can always go back and watch the video. This is so important. How y'all doing this morning? All right, I am trying to make sure that I am not echoing. So, let me see if I can. Y'all give me a minute. Let me know if I'm echoing. I don't know why this title is different from what I titled the, good morning, from what I titled this video. It's definitely not. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my background. I'm gonna try to open this up where I can see you. Positive audit results is not in cash flow quadrant. It's not supposed to be this title. I have no clue where that title came from. It is definitely not what I typed in. Let's see if I can see. Just a minute. Hang tight with me, you guys. Just want to make sure that I can see the video and see your comments. So I'm gonna go to my phone and I'm gonna try to open this up where I can see your comments. I see Marva has spoken. Okay. Let me know if I have an echo. I was trying to make sure sometimes this will open up and it will open up the Facebook. I'll just have to learn how not to open up that Facebook. Okay, if you're here, let me know you're here, and let me know that Marvestein, you guys let me know if this is an echo or not. I don't want it to echo. Okay. Actually, this video is not about tax auditing. This is about tax planning step 1. I wanted to go ahead and do this again. No echo. Good deal. I wanted to go ahead and do this training again for, we're always being repetitious with our training so that everybody can get it. We have new people that are here. So we know the difference between tax planning and tax preparing is that you actually have to do the work before you go and have your taxes done. That's tax planning. Tax preparation is just simply pulling together your stuff and giving it to your tax preparer, and they enter the data. Oh Lord, they enter the data into the system and calculate, or you either enter the data. But to truly make the best out of your tax season, you want to tax plan. And this is particularly this is being recorded. Good morning, Miss Kearney. This is particularly being recorded for my econers because this will be on YouTube, and there are people who are subscribed to my channel who will be watching this. So the my econers know the mindset that we have, and we know that we are home-based business owners, and this is part of our income shifting strategy, but we've got to add this in here. Now listen, this is concerning, this is going to happen even before you complete your W-4 form. It's not going to be long because I want you to get this step by step. So we're going to stay right here as to what needs to happen when you or before you complete your W-4 form. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off of this little presentation where I'm talking to you, and I'm actually going to go to the IRS calculator and do an example on here for you all. This is so important, okay? Now, tax planning step one. Let's take a look at it, okay? The first thing we need to do is find out our estimated tax liability. Let me see if I'm actually on here so this thing. All right, there we go. Ooh, it's probably going to come up twice. Okay, I don't want to get to that yet. Okay, so those of you that are in the business who are employees, you will need to go to your withholding calculator on irs.gov, or you can go to any other calculator. You may go to TurboTax has one, H&R Block has it, but I do like the IRS tax withholding calculator. Okay, this is if you are an employee plus you have your home-based business with MyEcon. Now, those of you who are not employees, you have your self-employed. You may have self-employment taxes or other taxes that will apply to you. Then you will need to go, I think it's publication 550, so that you can see what your possibilities are with your self-employment taxes that you will be paying in. But I will say this: if you operate the income shifting strategy like you're supposed to, you're actually going to lower your self-employment taxes. So it's going to work for you either way it goes. But if you are an employee, the withholding calculator can help you determine whether you need to give your employer a new W-4 form, which is the employee's withholding allowance certificate, to avoid having too much taxes deducted from your paycheck or having too little federal income tax withheld from your pay. Okay, you can either have too much or you can have too little. Those of you who have been in MyEcon, you understand that we have been given documentation from IRS that said that we need to check this thing out because there are possibilities of $40 a week too much that is being held out of Americans' taxes. On our presentation, we share statistics that let you know that about 80% of all employees will have their W-4 forms completed improperly, simply because they don't read the information. Okay, they don't. There are myths out there that teaches us that that myths that people say put all zeros on this form, or they would tell you to put 6 months zeros, 6 months exemption, and you're playing footsie with your money, and it's not necessary. So following these steps will actually help you do the proper thing and have the proper amount deducted, and if you are a business owner too, it will be a part of your strategy to lower your tax liability in the long run, okay? So let's go to here. I keep punching things. Okay, now this is what you're going to need before you get started. All of you will need to get your most recent pay stubs. Now check this out. Notice it doesn't say pay stub. You will need to have all income. Okay, report all income. What is your pay stub for your spouse, your pay stub for yourself, and then if you have two jobs and you got two pay stubs, then you need to put all of your work, your W-2 work, you need to get those pay stubs, because that's going to give you a total amount of your particular income and your taxes that are being withheld. Okay, then you will need to have your most recent income tax return. Why would I get my recent income tax return? Because there are many people who do not even know their tax filing status. They will go to tax preparers and they're just totally illiterate, okay? So they don't understand that you have 5 filing tax statuses, which are single, married, filing jointly, married filing separately. You have widow, a widower, and then you have head of household, okay? And you will need to know the qualifications for each one of them, because one of the one that is most often used that is illegal to do is that married people, because most that I've heard is some people mindset when they're married, they don't think that their money goes together. Okay, look, even IRS put your money together just like the Bible. So you've got married filing jointly. If you're married filing jointly. If you are married and you have situations that you need to, one popular situation, I'm not going to go over everything because it's not a tax class, is that people will file married filing separately, because the income will show differently, and it will help you when it comes to the amount of money that you need to pay back on your student loans. So that's one particular reason why a person will file married filing separately, okay? Head of household simply means that you are unmarried, but you have a qualifying dependent. Again, I will not go into a full class on this, but if you are married, you go under the filing status married. If you are single and have a dependent, then you go under or let's say this, if you are unmarried and you have a qualifying dependent, then you are head of household. If you are single and there are no dependents, then you are single. I think someone made a mistake and put head of household, which carries a different standard deduction, which will cause an issue for you if you don't understand, okay? So that's one reason why you get your tax return when you get ready to do your withholding on the withholding calculator with IRS, because you'll need to know your tax filing status. You will need to know your exemptions. Exemptions will be the people that are on your tax return. That is whether you have a spouse or you have children or other qualifying exemptions. You will need to know how many you have. And so you will need to have your tax return with you. Otherwise, if you're well versed in it, you don't need it, you will know the answers to this situation. And you will also need to keep in mind the tax season that you are in. Last year was 2016 tax season, although it was 2017, or would I say this year when we filed, it was 2016 tax season, although you filed in 2017. Next year, in February, March, and April, that will be 2017 tax season. So you will have information for 2017. So what happens is you got to know, what are you going to put, who are you going to have on your taxes, what is going to be your condition for 2017, and so on as the years go by. Okay, and then it says estimate varies depending on the accuracy of your input. You have to understand that this is not a time for you to fudge on numbers and to play. You want to put in as accurate as information as possible so that you can have accuracy. Okay, so let's take a look And finally, it says here, we want to do checks and balances. Once we go through the tax withholding calculator, it's going to be simple for you to check to see if you are on track. Okay. Once you know your estimated taxes, it reads, check your year-to-date federal tax deductions from all income. So that would mean you have your check stub. So simply look on your check stub under your federal tax withholding year-to-date, and you will be able to calculate or see how much does it match, if you're on track or if you're off track, okay? So you can do your subtractions from there. You'll be able to see it when we go on the computer, and I'm going to do an example, okay? The total amount will let you know if you have too little or too much withheld. Then you may need to submit a new W-4 form to your employer. Remember to keep the top stub so you will have this information with you, and you will know from year to year what you actually entered. Sometimes we say, how many allowances do you have in your W-4 form? Your answer and your response will be, I don't know. Well, you should start a file and put the top in that file so you will know the answer to how many allowances you need. Now, people, this is where the testimonies are coming from when it comes from my econ and our cash flow increase. So you've got to know this, because you're going to think, you're looking at everybody else having great response. And to being a member, the only way you don't have a good response is because you're not responding back to the application of this process. So this is one simple process that you can start with before the end of the year, so that you can know what it is that you are liable for on your income. Okay, I don't think it's going to get any clearer than this training and others, okay, can be, all right. So now let's look at the possibilities. Before I go to the calculator, I want you to look at the possibilities. Now, too much will cause you, or too much withholding from your paycheck is causing you to lose money. So for instance, if you are putting all zeros on your W-4 form and your status is at least married, or you are head of household, or possibly widow or widower, let's just say married or head of household, then it's a possibility that you are truly losing thousands of dollars because you have all zeros on there. Even the single people can have all zeros, but may have a possibility, if you have one job, of at least having one allowance. So you're actually losing money, okay? You're losing money, valuable money that you could be using from paycheck to paycheck to eliminate your debt, to build savings, okay? Personal savings or emergency savings fund, vacation fund, meeting your personal budget, okay? Because something that's really, I'm just going to throw this in here for good measure, something that really stuck with me as I was teaching last week in an event in Pine Bluff at a church, is that budgeting is at the top of everything. And so if you have your money back on your paycheck, you can meet your budget. Okay, that is, if you have a budget. You must have a budget. You must have a budget. There is no if and buts about it. I don't care if you get $50 a month. You should have a budget for that $50. Okay, that's gonna look. Budget is going to affect everything that you do. You think it's minute because you want to stay at penciling something in, or you want to get the cart before the horse. But the first thing you really need to do to your money is set budget. If this W-4 form is taken care of, then it's going to help your budget and your personal plan, which we know that we have a cash flow strategist, and you should have completed that also. Okay. Now let's take a look at what happens if too little is deducted from your paycheck. What does that mean to a MyEcon member? You need to work your business. Okay, it simply means you need to engage, legally engage in building your business. Where will I build my business? The next one says build deductions. Why would I build my business? That's it, because you're going to build deductions. while you are building deductions, you're also going to make money. Will you make money overnight? But you got to have the mindset that I may not make a lot of money overnight, but what I am going to do is I'm going to increase my personal income. So all that shyness and withdrawal, and I got to pray all night, pray 40 days, stay before all the folks and all this kind of stuff, and ooh, I don't want to talk. If you keep losing your money, you keep losing your money, you do not have any, and you cannot meet your personal goals. So it just makes sense all day, my econers, that you would build your business. How are you going to build it? It will not be social media alone. You will attend events. You will pay your registration. You will make sure that you set aside the time to attend your training, to attend phone calls, to talk to your family members. If you're on a boat, if you're on a plane, if you're in your car, if you're at the restaurants, you will find friends, neighbors, and enemies. Who cares? All you're doing is building deductions so that you can offset your tax liability in the long run. This also means that if you're going to build deductions, then you need to keep records. Record your records. Okay? That's what needs to happen from here. So you have your cash flow manager. If you can't use the cash flow manager, you should create something that is going to keep up with your deductions by categories, so you will have something in the event that you are audited and you are legally writing these off and not coming off the top of your head. Like I had this person that says to me, all I do is give my income to this company, and then I don't have to pay back maybe $200. Well, I'm sorry, you can't come to Shekinah Services like that. You must have your records in place, because there is no hookup. There is only accountability and responsibility. Is this hard? I posted something earlier that says if, stewardship is number one in all of our lives. And I'm finding that Christians are really getting the command out of place. Part of stewardship just means management. What are you managing? You've been created to be down here to manage your life and everything that God blesses you with. And he has over 2,000 scriptures where he is talking about spend, saving, investing, and money management in some kind of way, which means we need to first figure out that we need to have the time. All this I don't have time stuff is really killing you spiritually and naturally. So I'm sorry, I have to chunk that in there. I make no apologies for my belief system. It's made me a better person. It's going to make you a better person if you would obey. Okay? You do have time. I guarantee you, you have time. You just don't make the time. So if you have too little taxes being deducted from your paycheck, once you do your checks and balances, then go to work. Okay? The next thing here is, after you have seen the value of taking care of this first step, people, share the income shifting strategy with everyone. Okay? Again, introverts, extroverts, whatever excuses you are making, you are hindering other people from being blessed, including your family members. Now, they don't always receive, but we can pass this along to children. By the way, if any of the children, the teens, the young millionaire club members are on here, you guys need to be doing this. Now, you got to take some responsibility for your money as well. This is very valuable for your future. You're already working part-time jobs and full-time jobs. You're in college. You need to know how to do this, and we're here to provide this information to you. Help the people that you share income shifting strategy with understand the value. If you get this, if you actually move forward and take care of your first step, you're going to see the value. You won't just hear the value, but you're going to see the value for yourself, because you're going to prove it. Okay, you're going to test it by applying it. Then enroll your people. Once they see the value, enroll them so they can get the rest of the story. Okay? And then you'll be like this monkey. You'll have a happy tax day. You won't have a large tax return. Perhaps that is not what this is designed to do, but you will not be paying in more taxes than necessary. Okay. And then even if you were liable for, say, $5,000 on your income, but you had $10,000 in deductions, you'll be able to get some of that $5,000 back. That would be a part of your refund. Now, remember, you've got to have a job where taxes are actually being paid into to get taxes out. So some of you with low income or no jobs, you are expecting large tax returns. You don't get them. Or if you don't have children that qualify for earned income credit or other dependents that qualify, then it's not that's not something you get, or any other tax credit like your mortgages and so forth. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to X out of here, and then has stopped. I got to share my screen again. Okay. Here we go. All right, you guys. Now that I have switched screens at this point, we are going to do an example of the 2017 withholding calculator on the IRS.gov website. So all you simply have to do is type in irs.gov, go to the search bar, and type in withholding calculator. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Are y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Anybody learn anything? Show me some hearts, some likes, some wows, some tears, some anger. Okay, give me something when you see it, okay? All right. So we're going to let's see. All right. So now we're going to do an example. All right. And some of y'all that's running across the country and everything, y'all need to get this. Okay. You need to get this because this is a part of the truth of my econ. This is not embellishing what is here for us. This is the truth. And then you can have this video. Listen, once this video is recorded, you can actually be able to take it off of YouTube. And when you get it off YouTube, people, you're going to be able to teach your team. So when you're saying to Miss Pace or any of the other leaders, I cannot share this, become a leader. Share the video. Watch the video. You do not have to remember on your own. That's what we're here for. And you'll be surprised. There's a video that's actually on IRS. When you type in that, and there's a young lady who has a video. Okay, but she doesn't do all the extra stuff that I'm doing, but she's there, all right, to prove. So if you need to prove it to people, pull up irs.gov, share her video, just show them this came from IRS, okay? Now, let's do an example. This says right here, let me pull this up some more because I don't know about you, but it's real little for me. So I'm going to make this larger, so you can see it. Okay. So general information is what we're going to ask for at this point. All right. That's why I told you need to know your filing status. So what would be your filing status for 2017? Married, filing jointly. We're going to do an example of a married couple who has 2 dependents, and those dependents are actually within the child tax credit. They are 16 years old or below. Okay, so you're going to simply answer to your filing status. I'm answering to the scenario I've given you. Can someone else claim you as a dependent on his or her tax return? No, they cannot. Okay, continue. Now, it's going to suggest, I'm going to make it very simple here. It's going to ask you, select the total number of jobs in which you and your spouse are currently or will be employed. Okay? Now, we're going to say 2 jobs. Both of us work. Check box if you or your spouse held a job this year but are no longer employed in that job. If it doesn't apply, don't check the box. And that will be so on for the rest of them. It says to check your box if you are contributing to a tax-deferred retirement plan. You know why? Because you can write those retirement plans off. It says to check the box if you're contributing to a cafeteria or pre-tax plan. And then it also says check the box if you or your spouse received a scholarship or fellowship grant this year that must be included in gross income, which those are, you should ask that if that's what you got, okay? And you should know. Select the number of dependents you will claim on the tax return. According to the scenario, we will have 2 dependents here. Check if you will be 65 or older, you are blind, your spouse will be 65 or older, your spouse is blind, okay? Child and dependent care credit. Select the number of qualifying persons for this credit. You can receive this credit if your child is 16 years old or below, okay? So we're going to put 2 here. Hey, Serene, I strongly recommend you go back and watch this. If you plan to claim this credit, enter an estimate of work-related child and dependent care expenses, okay? So if there are none work-related child or dependent care expenses, this would be on your W-4 form when it asks you if you're going to claim a credit from like daycare center, or you have a job that you pay to keep your children after school or during the time that you go to work, and you're going to claim the tax credit, okay? So there will be none on this one, okay? If you paid out $2,000 or more, you would put the amount of money that you paid annually right here in that box where I put 0. Now, child tax credit. Select the number of eligible, okay, oh, I'm sorry, I did it wrong. Back up, child and dependent care credit, I'm sorry. So we don't have any here because both of these children are like 14 and 15, okay? But if we had a child who was being in daycare and you say that was 1 child, let's just put it there, okay? 1 child in daycare and we're paying $6,000 a year for that child. And yes, we're going to submit this to our tax preparer and get a credit for it. Child tax credit. Select the number of eligible children. They're under 17. There are 2 of them. We're going to put 2 right here, okay? Other credits. Enter the total value of tax credits other than the credit for child or dependent care or the child tax credit. So if you know what that is, put it there, okay? If you don't know what that is, continue on. Don't try to find it out. You're not a tax preparer. You'll get the credit when you do, and that'll just be a plus to whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Now, let's go here. Serene, what we're doing is we are completing the tax withholding calculator example, all right? Now, we're going to talk about the wage, income, and withholding. For each job you now hold and for each taxable pension you receive. So those of you who are retired or you had a spouse that passed and you are getting an annuity, this would apply to you. So enter the gross wages, salaries, and tips you expect to receive in 2017. So from job 1, okay, that's $50,000. Job 2, $85,000, okay? That just means these are spouses. She makes $50,000, he makes $85,000. Enter any bonuses you expect in 2017. Don't expect any. Enter the total federal income tax withheld to date in 2017, including amounts withheld from bonuses or which you expect to have withheld from bonuses, okay? No bonuses. We're taking a look at the check stub and we are looking at year-to-date federal taxes that have been deducted for both. So let's say so far $2,400. Okay, from his, let's say $3,500. Just giving something off the top of my head. So enter the federal income tax withheld from your last salary payment. Okay. So out of the last salary payment, it was $250. Him, it was $450. Okay. Select how frequently you get paid, weekly or monthly. I'm just going to say she does twice a month. He does monthly. Select the date closest to when you first held this job. Okay, January 1st. Select the date closest to when this job will end. December 31st is defaulted in there as if you've been working all year. If it needs to change, change it. Non-wage income, there is none. But this is where you would come in at your unemployment, or if you are working as a contract worker and you have income. If you are working with MyEcon, you can look on your commission check and see year to date, and you can enter that in there and you can see the rest. Okay, now adjustments. Enter an estimate of 2017 adjustments to income, like alimony paid, deductible IRA, education loan interest. If that applies, put it in there. If not, don't. Okay. And again, if you don't know until the end of the year, that's just a plus to you. This is an estimate. Okay. Now, look at what it says. It says if your standard deduction is $12,700, it's more than your total itemized deductions. Your standard deduction will be used to calculate your withholding. Otherwise, your total itemized deduction amount will be used. If you want to use your itemized deductions to calculate your withholding, even if they amount to less than your standard deduction, check this box, okay? So you can go ahead and put in information, taxes you paid, interest you paid, like on a mortgage, medical and dental expenses, casualty and theft losses, other expenses that come with that, okay? You just simply get the Schedule A instruction sheet and see what you qualify for and what you have. If not, that's just a plus if you do in the end, all right? Now, check this out real quick. It says, based on your responses, your anticipated income tax for 2017 is $16,652. Now, it's telling you that your estimated or anticipated income tax on the total income is $16,652. Now it's saying if you do not change your current withholding arrangement, you will have $8,750 withheld for 2017, leaving $7,902 due when you file your taxes. To meet your anticipated taxes of $16,652, change your current withholding arrangement by claiming zero allowances plus an additional amount of $6,371. All right? See right there? It just simply tells you what needs to be done. Now it's going to tell you what you did. It says you and your spouse should each enter 0 on line 5. Have $6,371 withheld over the balance of your year, which means you split it by your pay periods. All right? So it goes, see how simple that was? Very, very simple. Assuming this recommendation is in effect for 2017, your withholding will approximately equal your anticipated tax, and any refund or balance due should be less than $25. Now that's to the T. That would be that you don't owe anything, or you might owe, but it won't be more than this. Now you see how very, very simple this is? Very, very simple to put in. And if you, let me say, when I did it earlier, I talked to you earlier, say for instance, this, you did put, you say, well, I got $7,902 that's due. For you as a home-based business owner in MyEcon, this is the point at which you can go and take a look at your cash flow manager. How much do I have in deductions so far? Then you got October, November, December to build more deductions to go with this so that it will lower that $7,902. Okay? If you do not go, there are the different deductions. This is not a tax class, but you need to find out what are some deductions that will help you lower this $7,902. And make sure it happens in 2017 that you can write off before you file your taxes. Okay? It may be another dependent. You know what I'm saying? It may be that you missed the dependent and you actually qualify for a mama or daddy or somebody that you're taking care of that you can add to your taxes. It may be a lot of things, but keeping in line with what we're teaching you for income shifting strategy, this is why you need to put in your information now and calculate it in the cash flow manager so you can be on track. And if you need to change your W-4 form, go change it. All right, we're not going to go to the W-4 training. We will do that. You have that actually already recorded, but this is something in addition to your W-4 and page 2 that you need to actually do, so you will know every year what it is that you and your spouse or what you owe in taxes, and don't pay a penny more than what you owe. Okay, so if you learned anything from it, give me some hearts, give me some likes, post your comments below, but by all means, let's get the job done, and don't be afraid to share. I want to remind you, we are in our season of blessing from My Econ, and you have the opportunity to make some cash money, all right, by sharing your products, your services, and your business with other people. So the drawing is coming up real soon. 3 is the key. Go and introduce this and enroll 3. Now, let me share with you that in order to have 3, that means that at least 30 people you will have actually talked to get one of them to see the value and want to move forward. All right? So don't think you're going to go to 3. And that's why y'all crying, because you like, ain't nobody listening to me. It ain't that nobody ain't listening, is that you're not listening because you haven't done it correctly. Okay, when you want to build your business and you want to share this information. So you got to do it right. All right? All right, you guys, that is it for today. Appreciate your time. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can contact any My Econ associate. If you've heard me and you don't know an associate, my website is shekinahservices.myecon.net. That's SHEKINAH services with an S.myecon, MYECON.net. It will be listed in the information on this YouTube video. Contact us. Matter of fact, get started. Don't just contact us. It's only $34.95 a month for the membership. You can continue this teaching along with other financial education. You can build a profitable business helping people do the same thing that you just got help with, okay? So we want you to get started right away. No matter where you are in the country, we can take care of you. We can actually help you have a better financial profile. All right, have a blessed day.